Isn't this card adorable? And it incorporates in a really fun background technique. So I'm going to show you how I used the second release celebration rewards from 2020 and made this great background. If you're taking this class as part of the Boys to Men card class, you've received a kit, and here's what's included with your kit. So I'm going to set aside my bits and pieces for the moment and show you how I did this great background. So I am going to pull in my foam brayer, and I'm using Coastal Cabana, which is a really fun blue. And you're going to be inking up your brayer. And one of the things that I like to give as a tip is that you want to make sure that you're rolling it in the same direction. If you're rolling it in the same direction, you're going to be covering the whole thing with ink. It's tempting to want to roll it back and forth, but then you'd only be inking up that one part. So keep rolling it in the same direction until you get enough coverage. And then you're going to start on one side and you're going to roll it all the way along until you get to the other side. So if you wanted to create an ombre look, you'd leave that like this. However, we're going to saturate the whole thing. So I'm going to ink up my brayer again, and this time I'm going to roll it from the other end, and I'm going to bring it all the way to the center. So now we have this colored, and let's bring in the card again so you can see where we're going with this. So I've already die cut for you the centerpiece, and we're going to add some confetti to that. So that's using Smoky Slate, and we're using the stamp set So Sentimental for this. This is from our mini catalog. Both the dies and the stamp set are just great from this one. So we're taking in these little tiny confetti, and we're just adding a few in the corner here and over on the side. Next, I've already pre-cut for you some balloons using the Balloon Duo punch. So now we're going to use our dimensionals, and we're going to layer those two balloons. So I've got a Coastal Cabana and a Mango Melody. So we're just going to add those in. Oh, let me just move this over a little bit. You can kind of play with your adhesive in the first couple seconds that you lay it down before it really gets stuck. The next part is we're going to add in the strings. So you're going to need a gray Stampin' Write marker for this one. So I would recommend using the pen end, and you're just going to freehand draw the balloon lines coming straight out of the balloon, just like that. I've also included in your kit a white label, and here is where you're going to stamp your greeting. So this is so cute. This calls for confetti. So this could be a congratulations card. It could be a birthday card. And I love the font on that one. So we're going to go ahead and use snail adhesive to layer that on top of the die. Next, you're going to bring in the Designer Series paper, and this is from the Birthday Bonanza Designer Series paper series. But we're going to flip it over and use the confetti side of it and layer it on like that. And then you're going to take your snail and layer it on top of the copper paper. Because the lines are crooked, it's a little bit tricky to get it straight, but just really look for the evenness around the edges. And then we'll take the dimensionals and we're going to layer that on top of the card front. And then finally, you'll bring in your card base. You're going to fold that in half and make your edge. Now we'll use our snail to adhere it into place. Just like that. So the last part here you'll notice is adding in some rhinestones, and this is from the Carryover Holiday Rhinestone Basic Jewels. I included a couple of these in your kit. You probably got a selection that looks like this. So you do have some extras in there. You can use them on another project. But I'm just going to go ahead and lift those off and add them onto our balloons. There you go. Isn't that cute? Okay, so if you don't have exactly these supplies, for example, if you don't have the foam brayer, you could use another kind of sponge or a dauber to sponge that into place, or you could even take your ink pad and go directly to the paper. You won't get the same soft look. It'll be a little bit different, but you'll still get that colored look. As far as the greeting goes, that's the only other thing that you would need, and you can use any birthday greeting that you want. So I hope that helps. Thanks so much for following along.